Welcome to another Hopper tutorial video. Hopper is a modern semicolon and curly brace language that runs on small devices. It's a little bit like Java or C#. Anyway, I've chosen to demonstrate with this Adafruit device because it has a feature that's kind of handy. What I'm looking for is a device that has a power jack and that can take its serial port and its power jack at the same time. So they've created this pretty cool RP2040, so same microcontroller as the Raspberry Pi Pico, but it's in an Arduino Uno form factor. In addition to that novelty, it also has a USB-C connector and a reset button. Both features I really appreciate. You know, it has a lot of other features as well, but I'll put a link in the description below to how you get to this. Anyway, back to my video. So we've got a Hopper program already on this device, so let's power it up. So this is the power jack, not the USB jack. So there we go, power up. It's going to take a little while to initialize, and then we start drawing graphics. Right? Happily drawing graphics. And at some point, it seems to get stuck. So what do? Well, at this point, suppose you've got a device that's been running for a long time and it crashed, and you want to know why. At this point, if you can plug in your USB connector, right, and then you'd switch to your Hopper screen. Let's put the video back. And in your Hopper IDE, in your Hopper environment, you see which port, you type port to see which port you should be on. It's probably port 3. Let's see if port. And then once you've done that, you type debug. And it launches into the debugger, loads symbols, and goes to the line where our program crashed. So it crashed on this line. And the reason it crashed is because this is deliberate division by 0. So if you look in the bottom right here, D is 0. So it was counting down until D is 0. Anyway, I can demonstrate it again quickly. So I'll exit out of the debugger, go to this device, and the serial port doesn't have to be plugged in yet, but I can just hit the reset button. That should restart my program. Restarts my program. Runs nicely. So you've got a program out in the field on a device and it crashes, like right now. It's just stopped working, it's hung. It should be rolling through a few more examples and it's stuck. So I plug in my serial port, I choose my port, there it is, and then I type debug. And you could use the monitor as well, so you can go Hopper monitor would do that too, and you'd get to the assembly level, but debug gets you to the source level debugger. So loads it up, finds the source code for the line it fails on, and tells you that's where your error is. Right. So if we edit the example, and oops, what did I do wrong? SSD. No. Typing. There we go. And let's go and find our deliberate division by 0 error. Where was it? Over here. So we get rid of our division by 0 error here. Build it again. And then I say, let's start it in the debugger. Uploads the new version. And then let's run it. So now it should get past that crash. There's our lines, and it gets past them, and then it goes back to the beginning of the demo again. Great. Let's Control C out of that. Let's exit the debugger. Let's exit the editor. And again, we can take the power off our device, unplug the serial port. So here we have our device, plug in the power. It should start up the program that's on board. And it's going to run all the way through this time. But we might as well just plug the serial port in again. Come on. A little fiddly. There we go. Plugged in our serial port. Check our ports. Yeah, it's still the same. And then we can launch debug again. So we don't have to tell it which source code, which project. It knows that we want to debug whatever is on that serial port. And then it identifies what was uploaded to it, goes and finds the source code, finds the debug information, and it breaks into it. So this is the line number that it was on. So you can see it's stalled the device now. So now we can single step through our program that's running on the device, the same one that's still running. And then we can F5 to continue running, and there it goes. It carries on, and we can Control C to break it again, set breakpoints, etc. So you can put in breakpoints on lines. Yeah, go into the details of the driver. Go and put a breakpoint in here somewhere. Where should we put a breakpoint? Set pixel maybe, somewhere like that. F5. So we run. And it hits our breakpoint, and now we can see the call stack on the right here. So it was from a line that so we can go back. You can double click on things to traverse the call stack here. In the same way I double click on paths to traverse the source code, so I can travel around the program by clicking on, double clicking on paths, like that. Anyway, and then I can carry on. Keep running. Yeah. Anyway, that's the debugger. Full source level symbolic debugger for a modern language running on your RP2040 microcontroller, and it can attach to an existing running process if that process has crashed, or if that process is still running, and you can just break into it. As long as you have a device that can that you can go and plug your serial port into while it's running, where you're not going to get a conflict with the power supply. And this, I can recommend this Adafruit device. I'll put a link in the description below. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I look forward to your comments.